The British government is set to make something mandatory that will reshape how everyone works and lives in the UK, a compulsory digital ID. Now, rights activists are calling it a dangerous step towards mass surveillance. Supporters are calling it a leap into a more efficient future.
On the 26th of September, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer announced the introduction of compulsory digital ID cards for people who work in the UK.
Today, I am announcing this government will make a new free-of-charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that.
The new digital ID scheme is aimed towards stopping illegal workers in the shadow economy, while also ensuring fairness in the immigration system. The government says the digital ID will be stored on mobile phones and will become a mandatory part of employer checks when hiring staff. Over time, the digital ID scheme could also expand to childcare, welfare, tax records and other public services. Now let us first understand what exactly is a digital ID. A digital ID is a form of electronic identification, usually stored on a phone or smart card. Unlike a traditional passport or a driver's license, it doesn't just prove who you are in person, it can also authenticate your identity online. It works by linking your personal details like your name, age and address to a verified digital profile, often backed by biometric data such as fingerprints, iris scans or facial recognition. A digital ID can be used to access government services, healthcare, education, banking and even voting in some countries. Supporters argue that a digital ID makes life simpler, offering one login for multiple services, faster benefits and less paperwork. They also point out that it could reduce fraud by making it harder to fake identities. But critics, including civil liberty groups, warn of risks to privacy, government misuse and the potential for mass surveillance. According to an Ipsos poll in July, 57% of Britons support a national ID scheme. But about 3 in 10 are worried about personal data being misused, sold to private companies or stolen in security breaches.
We all need to do whatever we can to support the government to manage immigration, and identity cards are a way of doing that.
I just don't see the point of not having them, because we have ID all the time with driving licenses, often carry our passports around. So yeah, I don't have a problem with them.
I think it puts emphasis on the experience of kind of asylum seekers and immigrants and migrants to this country, when often they're just trying to live life and do things and get on like we all are. So
yeah, I think it comes with a huge number of pitfalls. I think it needs to be looked at very, very carefully, because I think there are huge implications. I think there are particular bonuses to it, but I think there are huge implications ethically as well.
The digital ID scheme is expected to come into effect right before the next UK election, which is due in 2029. As the UK gears up to make digital IDs mandatory for all UK citizens across the globe, similar schemes already exist. India operates the world's largest digital ID program called Aadhaar. Launched in 2009, Aadhaar assigns every resident a unique 12-digit number linked to their biometric data such as fingerprints, iris scans and a photograph. As of 2025, more than 1.3 billion people have been issued an Aadhaar number, making it the most extensive digital identification system on the planet. And just last month, Switzerland approved a plan to introduce voluntary digital ID scheme. Other countries including France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Denmark, Australia and Singapore also run nationwide digital ID schemes. Britain's plan places it among a growing list of nations betting on digital IDs as the backbone of modern governance. However, the road ahead will not be an easy one. If concerns over privacy and surveillance aren't addressed, the plan could, in fact, face resistance before it even gets off the ground.